Good shot, kid. I think you got him. Good shot, kid. I think you got him.
Hello there and welcome back to some more Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Today we're continuing with our Let's Play, and this is episode 54. In today's episode we are taking a look at the Vigilante side mission, a returning side mission from GTA 3 and Vice City in which you must kill criminals because criminals are bad. Much like in Grand Theft Auto Vice City, our implement of destruction for this side mission is going to be the Hunter helicopter, which looks like an Apache. You get this from getting all golds in the flight school side mission, which of course we showed off a couple of episodes ago because it's part of the main story. It's not massively difficult to get all golds in flight school, and this would be by far and away the way I would recommend doing this. I don't really know how to do this in a normal vehicle, I'll be perfectly honest, because I've always used the Hunter helicopter in order to carry this out. Now, don't be too surprised when you click that side mission button and it shows Brown Thunder. That is Vigilante, just for whatever reason. In the Hunter helicopter, they call it Brown Thunder. It functions exactly like Vigilante. Again, as I sort of alluded to in the intro, Vigilante is essentially where you go around, you get an idea of where the suspects are, last seen, you get a little red marker on the map, and then you have to go and take them out. Not take them in, take them out. And that's where the Hunter helicopter comes in good use, because this thing is equipped with some serious firepower. A machine gun on the front, which can destroy vehicles in a matter of seconds, and then of course you've also got the rockets. Now for the entirety of this, I recommend using the machine gun over the rockets. The machine gun is far better for slow moving targets, or just moving targets in general. Then the rockets, you get more precision. It does lock on sort of automatically once you're within a certain range. The machine gun is the best way to do it. And it also, in this game, as a little interesting side note, actually stops you getting wanted attention. So, you might have noticed in Vice City it didn't really matter, we ended up with about 3 or 4 stars, and you will get wanted during this, despite the fact that you're technically helping the police department, you are, you know, shooting in the streets and stuff, which isn't good. In the Hunter, in this game, for whatever reason, the machine gun does not attract police attention. It does when you start shooting on patrol cars, if I recall correctly, but so long as a stray bullet doesn't go ahead and hit a patrol car, as long as you're just using this on civilians or indeed our targets in this mission, it doesn't matter. You won't get wanted attention from using the machine gun, so that would be what I would personally recommend. Again, you can use the rockets. Wanted attention, you might not think it particularly matters when it comes to this, but it does definitely in San Andreas, because after a 4-star wanted level, they send Hydras after you if you are in the sky, and they can hit you with rockets, and unlike in certain air vehicles, you do not have flares in the Hunter, so yeah, and I don't think it takes that many rockets. So, speaking about that sort of stuff, in general in the side mission, it's very, very easy with the Hunter helicopter. You might notice, as I'm doing this, it takes a while for the threat eliminate to come up after the car exploded. Usually that would mean the suspect's escaping, but not quite true in this case. For whatever reason in San Andreas, when a car blows up, for the most part through gunfire, it actually classes as the person dies when they get out of the vehicle. It's very strange, they sort of bail out as like a last action. You'll actually see CJ do it if he ends up in an exploded vehicle sometimes. It's just the way it works, as with the double exploded vehicles that we saw in Beefy Baron. It's just one of the weird quirks San Andreas has in this. Now, one tip I will give you before starting the side mission, you might have seen me do it, is I actually flew to the west of the airstrip instead of just starting on the airstrip. The reason I did that was to try and avoid the suspects going into Las Venturas. Now, it doesn't really matter all that much if they do. It doesn't necessarily make the side mission that much harder. But I just figured it would be better to keep them out here because it's more open air, the less police officers to potentially hit with a stray bullet, and also it means that it's easier to maneuver with the helicopter because you're not like in danger of crashing into buildings and stuff like that. You can keep yourself fairly low to the ground, which is of course when the machine gun can do its best work, because that's when it gets the lock on properties. So if I would personally recommend flying to the west, but it isn't a big deal if you end up in a built-up area. You just have to sort of be mindful. Don't get me wrong, the helicopter can take a fair couple of knocks. You might have seen, yeah, I'm using the rockets there because the suspects actually did get out their vehicles. So I do sort of recommend trying to get them from a distance, get them before they bail out, because it can take extra time to get them once they're on foot, but it's not too bad. And unlike in normal Vigilante, where this would be a massive hassle as there's more cars spawning and so on and so forth, in this it doesn't matter so much because you can just annihilate from the skies. It doesn't matter if it's one suspect or 12, it's sort of equally as easy. Once you've completed Vigilante, you'll get a notification through saying that you now have 150% armor. Unlike in Vice City, this change isn't indicated. The bar actually remains the same size, unlike the health bar, which grows. I don't have any reason to believe it doesn't work, although in my personal experience, I don't think it works very well. So I'm not too sure whether it's sort of a placebo reward or if it is a real reward, but to me personally, it didn't really feel like it. Also, you get gifted armor after doing this, which is quite good. And you get a decent payout for this, and using the Hunter helicopter, I mean, you've seen this in real time. I haven't had to speed it up, and it only took me about 6 minutes to complete Vigilante, which, you know, most of that time is just sort of tracking suspects down and so on. So, yeah, pretty darn easy, fun side mission to go ahead and do. I would recommend sort of flying away from suspects if they do bail out the vehicles, because they can have some pretty decent weaponry, and you would want to avoid that because they can take the helicopter out with gunfire. But as you can see there, that is Vigilante over and done with. Again, like I said, literally 6 minutes and we are done. Thank you all very much for watching, and next time we're going to be going back to another school as we take a look at the boat school, so join us for that. Until then, farewell.
Down, speeding all around. The naked 47 got the power and it's bound to move any mother that gets in my way. Just another power machine on the freeway. Riding with me, there's my MC homeboy. Knowing the rules ain't part of his program. Finding the right way around this map might be pretty hard, cause he's fucked on crack. Gee,